guys, it's Nurse Jet, Nursing the Truth. I hope everyone's having a great day. So, I hope each and every one of you guys have watched my video about Emperor Vespasian and Jesus in the healing battles. We do have now record of a paganistic emperor that healed somebody that was blind and lame. So, and showed you proof. So, what am I going to be talking about now? It all has to tie in to the Roman and Jew War. And if you've read enough books and done your history lessons, you may or may not know this. But let's get right on into it, guys. I have been going through this today for 3-4 hours, reading, searching, doing housework and this, that, and the third. But let's talk a little bit about Tiberius Julius Alexander. And you say to yourself, well, Nurse J, what really does this matter? I mean, this has been long gone since 70 CE. But friends, it has a lot. And it is a lot to think about and see where the puzzle lies. What if I told you that a Jew let his own temple burn? You're like, what? You mean to tell me, Nurse J, that a Jewish person let the temple go up in smoke, per se? Yes. Why? Well, friends, Tiberius Julius Alexander was an Egyptian Jew in the Roman army. Did you not know that? I didn't until today. From digging and reading. So a Jew let the Jewish temple burn. But you're going to say, oh my God, the Romans did it. Well, let's give a little history lesson. Tiberius Julius Alexander, his father was named the same. And his father was a very well-to-do, pious Jew in Egypt. And he had lots of money. And he had, through his marriage, 2 sons, Tiberius and Marcus. Tiberius was a prefect in Egypt. You know, it served better. He did not continue in Judaism like his father. So his father practiced Judaism, and he was a wealthy merchant and was over like large areas of land. So because Tiberius's father married a Roman woman, he was in the Roman army. So, now you have it. The people of Egypt and Alexandria did per se listen to him because he was very well known. His family was very influential. Family had a lot of money. And, you know, there were some good things that he did do. cut taxes, this, that, and the third. He did a lot of good things. But it came down to a situation where there was an uprising. And Josephus's work said that he sent out legions of Roman soldiers. And now this is Josephus's words. Come out and wreak havoc and did not spare men, women, or children. Plunder everything. But it got to the very end of this battle, and the people that were left of slaughters, they begged Tiberius for their life, and he had pity on them. And 50,000 Alexandrian Egyptian Jews died. But he gave the order. So, the web is deep, folks. Judaism, Roman Catholicism is very deep. And when you realize it's all intermingled with the families. One other thing I guess you did not know is that Tiberius's brother Marcus married Bernice of the Bible, which was King Agrippa's daughter. And King Agrippa was related to Herod the Great. You're going, oh my God, I just can't handle any more, Nurse J. Like, are you serious? Oh, but they're not going to tell you. An own Jew let his own people go down with the sword. It's time to wake up. Wakey, wakey. Now, like I said, the family had great business connections with Agrippa. And like I said, Agrippa was the grandson of Herod the Great. And do you know whose brother was related to his father, which would be his uncle? So we have Tiberius Julius Alexander, and his father was the same, Tiberius Julius Alexander. His brother was Philo of Alexandria, the philosopher that didn't write anything about Jesus. So Tiberius' uncle Philo was very prosperous. And like I said, Bernice married Agrippa. And his father was very rich. And it got down to a point that Agrippa needed money. And Tiberius's father loaned him a lot of money. And, you know, it even goes deeper than this, friends. Tiberius's father, like I said, he was born in Alexandria, Egypt. Now, they say there's nothing known about his parents. Josephus only says that Alexander surpassed all his fellow citizens both in ancestry and in wealth, and that Philo was his older brother, and that Marcus married Bernice, and they did not have any children, and that the siege of Jerusalem, that he was second in command, Tiberius. Now, Titus is the one that took hold of the siege, but from what I read as well, Tiberius, even though he let the first siege go of the insurrection and had all these thousands of people killed, but from what I read, they had a council meeting and they said that they didn't want the temple burned. But Titus went in and did it anyway. So that's up for discussion. Now, they did give Tiberius's father and family Roman citizenship. So, under Julius Caesar. So his ancestors and family had social ties and connections to the priesthood in Judea, the Hasmonean dynasty, Herodian dynasty, and the Julio-Claudian dynasty. And when I started going back even further, like I said, Tiberius's father, he was an administrator for the extensive land estates in Egypt owned by Antonia Minor. And I'm like, I've never heard of this chick at all. Who is she? And they say that Antonia Minor was a Roman noblewoman who was the niece of Emperor Augustus and the youngest daughter of Mark Antony. Do you know who Mark Antony was? Mark Antony was the husband of Cleopatra the Seventh, which Cleopatra the Seventh was the last woman standing pharaoh on the throne of Egypt. And this child, Antonia Minor, was a daughter with Octavia with Mark Antony the first time. So this is the sister of Cleopatra Selene, which is Cleopatra's daughter that was birthed with Mark Antony. Do you see the web? You see how far this goes? And Antonia Minor's youngest child was the Emperor Claudius. And Alexander, which was Tiberius's father, we're going to call him Alexander, he had 9 gates at the Second Temple in Jerusalem that were overlaid with massive plates of silver and gold. And in around 32 to 35 CE, the Herodian Agrippa was indebted to Rome for 30,000 pieces of silver. And Agrippa escaped Judea and sailed to Alexandria to beg Tiberius, his father, to loan him 200,000 drachmas. And Alexander refused to give the money directly to Agrippa, but agreed to loan Agrippa's wife, Cypros, the money because Alexander marveled at her love of her husband and all her other good qualities. Now, sometime between 37 and 41, the Emperor Caligula ordered Alexander to be imprisoned in Rome for unknown reasons. This could be connected to Philo's embassy to Caligula in 39 to 40 CE. After the death of Caligula in 41, goodbye, you sorry sucker, his paternal uncle, Claudius, became emperor, and he immediately released Alexander from prison. And Josephus wrote that Alexander was an old friend of Claudius, who had acted as guardian for his mother, Antonia. So here we go, friends. Antonia Minor, the daughter of the famous Cleopatra, my mentor, and Mark Antony, their child. And Tiberius's father had connections, and he was very wealthy. And Antonius Minor's youngest child was Claudius. Claudius let Alexander out of jail. And Philo did go to Rome on behalf. And he wrote about it. So, let's see what else we can dig up. So, the Jew who destroyed Jerusalem. And you know what's funny, friends, is because when you start digging, it goes real deep. And you have a child of Mark Antony that had connections with Tiberius, which is an Egyptian Judaism person, and was married to a Roman. And the son didn't want to take and didn't want to do the religion of the father. And Josephus wrote that he was upset about that he should have fulfilled the familiars of the father. But he took, because he was given Roman citizenship, he wanted to be a Roman. So, how you liking that? How you liking it? Did a Roman really destroy the temple? Or did a Jew really destroy the temple? What's really the truth? All I know is Tiberius Julius Alexander was born an Alexandrian Egyptian Jew through his father Tiberius Julius Alexander, and Philo was his uncle, and they had connections and ties to Antonia Minor, which was Mark Antony's daughter. And she and Tiberius's father were friends. And she was the mother of Claudius, the emperor, after Caligula. And then remember, Claudius kicked the Jews out of Rome. And then 5 years later, under Nero, they were able to return. So there again, friends, the rabbit trail goes deep, and the money lenders go deep and have been going deep for a very long time. Because even in the Borgias, the Pope did not have enough money for his crusades. Pope Alexander VI, and he had the Jewish people give him money to support the Inquisition. So until next time, Hotep and Ashe. And if you're gonna be a true Egyptian, you need to stick to your Egyptian roots, my friends. Until next time, Hotep, my friends. Goodbye.